Now that Joomla is installed, you could simply go ahead and start creating content. However, it makes sense to complete the setup phase by installing any required extensions, including the template. So that's what's covered in this lesson. The most important extension is the template. So start by downloading your choice from the developer's website. Now, every developer has a different process, but if you're buying a commercial template, you generally create an account, buy the template or a subscription, log into the account, and download it. Then install it as I'll show you in a moment. In this case, the basic version of the template is free, so the process is simple. The developer we're using is Joomla Shine, and can be found at www.joomlashine.com. Look for the template named JSN Pixel. Finding the download can sometimes be challenging, but right now it's on the Get It Now page. You might like to note the differences between the free and paid versions, and then you're ready to download. Click the download button under the free version and note the following. As there are different versions of Joomla, you might find that multiple versions are available for download. So ensure you get the version that matches your version of Joomla. In this case, there is a single version that works for both version 2.5 and version 3. You might also see a quick start package that I discussed in an earlier lesson. This contains both the Joomla installation files as well as the template demo content. That's not the approach we're taking in this course. So go ahead and download the template and the documentation. I'm going to assume you know how to download files, but I'll add that it's handy to save all the files used in this course in the one location. I've already set my browser up to save downloads in a particular folder. Before installing an extension, you need to determine if the compressed file you downloaded needs to be extracted first. There are two ways to do this. The first is to simply read the installation instructions found in the developer documentation that was also downloaded. The second is for those who are more comfortable with zip files. You can open the zip that was downloaded and take a look at the files. If it looks something like this, then it's likely that this is the main installation file. However, if you see several zip files within the main zip file, you need to extract it first and then find the appropriate extension file. The process to install an extension, including templates, is as follows. Step 1. Log in to Administrator. Step 2. Navigate to Extensions, Extension Manager. Step 3. Click the button in the browser that allows you to select a local file. This varies a bit between browsers. Here in Google Chrome, it's labelled Choose File. In Internet Explorer, the button is labelled Browse. Find the extension on your local computer and select it. Click Open or the equivalent button on your system. And step 6, click Upload and Install. This process can take a while depending on the size of the extension. A confirmation message appears notifying you that the extension was successfully installed. Now, ordinarily, nothing would have changed at this point. Installing a template just places the files into Joomla, but you still have to instruct Joomla to use it. However, this particular template doesn't follow this convention, so when you look at the front end, you'll see that it now looks different. In most cases, however, you need to tell Joomla that you want to use the newly installed template. The process for this is: Step 1. Navigate to Extensions, Template Manager. Step 2. Click the star next to the desired template. For example, right now I'll switch back to the default Joomla template, which is called Protostar. This is done by clicking on the star next to the desired template in the default column. Now when you look at the front end, you'll see that the design has reverted to the original. So normally when you install a template, you need to go to Template Manager, find the name of the template that was just installed, and click the corresponding star to make it the new default template. Let me just do that again for the one we're using. While you're here, you might be tempted to click the template name, which reveals a bunch of settings. We're going to return to this later in this course, so hold off for now. The next extension is a replacement for the standard Joomla HTML editor. Entering content into Joomla is done via an editor, which is a little bit like entering text into a word processor. Here's a look at the standard editor that is supplied with Joomla. This is called TinyMCE, and it allows you to apply basic formatting to your content, such as bold, italics, numbering, change alignment, and so forth. Although it works fine, it lacks an easy method to link to other Joomla content or manage images. So most people replace this with a better editor called JCE. This stands for Joomla Content Editor and can be obtained from www.joomlacontenteditor.net. As with all third-party extensions, you need to hunt around a bit to find the download. Of course, this might change when it's your turn, but right now the page is under Downloads, Editor, and then the version number, in our case Joomla 3. Just like templates, you might need to make a choice as to which file you need to download. Just pick the most recent zip version, unless it's a beta version. Go ahead and click the download, and then return to Administrator. And do the following. Step 1. Navigate to Extensions, Extension Manager. Step 2. Install it as before. Choose the file that was downloaded, and upload it to Joomla. Step 3. Navigate to System, Global Configuration. This is the part of Joomla where you can specify certain settings, including the default editor. Step 4. Set Default Editor to Editor JCE. In the Actions toolbar, click Save and Close. Now when you create articles, you'll see that the editor has changed. JCE has many more functions than the default editor, and you'll learn how to use it throughout this course. One feature that is much loved in WordPress and other content management systems is commenting. You're no doubt familiar with this feature that allows website visitors to comment on your articles. Joomla currently doesn't provide this function in the core, but it's easy to add commenting using an extension called Commento. Here's how you get it going. Step 1. Browse to www.stackideas.com. Step 2. Find the Commento download page. Step 3. Just like the template that was downloaded earlier, this extension has both a free version and a paid version. Note the differences and then click the download button. Step 4. Although the extension is free, this developer has a requirement to register for an account. So you'll need to click on Create Free Account and complete the various details. Then return to the site, log in, navigate to the Commento download page again, and download the version corresponding to your version of Joomla. Step 5. Return to Administrator and navigate to Extensions, Extension Manager. And step 6. Install the Commento file. The extension will be installed and is ready to use. That's normally all you would do, but while you're learning Joomla, this feature could be a distraction. So let's temporarily disable it as follows. Step 1. In Administrator, navigate to Components, Commento, Integrations. Step 2. Click the Joomla article button. Step 3. Set Enable Comments to No. And step 4. In the Actions toolbar, click Save and Close. This will be re-enabled later. The next two extensions are by the same developer, so it makes sense to install them at the same time. The first extension adds social sharing icons to the bottom of each article. The second inserts a Google map into an article. You should be getting used to the general process of downloading and installing extensions by now. Step 1 is to browse to www.joomshaper.com. Step 2, go to Joomla, Joomla Extensions. Step 3 is to find SP Share. You will need to move through the pages to find it. Step 4, click Download. And then download the version matching your version of Joomla. Step 5, go back and find SP Simple Map. Step 6, click Download, and then download the version matching your version of Joomla. Step 7, return to Administrator and navigate to Extensions, Extension Manager. Step 8, install SP Share. And step 9, install SP Simple Map. The final extension to be installed is called Widget Kit, which provides several multimedia functions, such as a photo gallery and video player. There is both a free version and a paid version, but the free one will give us everything we need. This is developed by one of the better known template designers, Utheme. Get it as follows. Browse to www.utheme.com. Step 2, click Widget Kit. Step 3, click Download. Step 4, download the appropriate version. Step 5, in Administrator, navigate to Extensions, Extension Manager, and Step 6, install the file. You've done everything necessary to start creating your Joomla website. Joomla has been installed and 6 extensions, including the template, have been installed. So that brings this section to a close, and in the next section you'll learn how to create primary content.